What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. For a family that's known nothing but tragedy, it almost happened again, y'all. Now, fortunately for RFK Jr., who we're not even sure was there, home security, private home security was able to subdue a man who obviously meant to do RFK Jr. harm. All right? I'll put a link to this article in the pinned comment in the comment section below. Intruder arrested for trying to break into RFK Jr. and wife Cheryl Hines' LA home. Private security forced to subdue man in backyard in terrifying incident. The incident happened yesterday morning at the couple's Brentwood, California home. It was unclear if Kennedy was home at the time, but Hines was at the property. An intruder was arrested for attempting to break into the home Wednesday of independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and his actress wife Cheryl Hines. TMZ reported today that law enforcement was called to the Brentwood property for a burglary around 9:30 a.m. Wednesday morning. The man had been subdued by Kennedy's security, and Hines, known for her role as Larry David's wife on Curb Your Enthusiasm, was home at the time. It was unclear if Kennedy was at the property. For Butts, Kennedy, who entered the presidential race in April as a Democrat, but switched to an independent bid earlier this month, has asked for Secret Service protection. His father, of course, was Robert F. Kennedy, the man in the middle of this photo, who was assassinated by a gunman when he was running for president back in 1968. His uncle, President John Fitzgerald Kennedy, the man on the left, was assassinated during his first term in the White House back in 1963. Really, I should say his only term. The 2024 hopeful renewed his call for Secret Service protection in September after a man was arrested after showing up to the Kennedy campaign event armed with two pistols, impersonating a police officer. Again, Kennedy's private security detail provided by Gavin DeBecker and associates detained the man, who was 44-year-old Adrian Paul Aspuro. Although it is well-known historical fact, apparently in your case it bears repeating. Mr. Kennedy's uncle, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, was assassinated. Mr. Kennedy's father, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, was assassinated while a presidential candidate. Kennedy's campaign manager, former Representative Dennis Kucinich, said at the time. Look, in addition to those assassinations, there have also been some tragic deaths in the Kennedy family. Oldest brother, Joe Jr., Joseph Kennedy Jr., died during World War II. His plane blew up midair back in 1944, I believe it was. He was only 29 years old. I can't remember her name. Was it Rosemary Kennedy? Might have been Rosemary. A sister of theirs died in a plane crash in the late 1940s. Then, another Kennedy, JFK Jr., of course, who many people thought was on his way to being a political force by 2000 and into the 2000s, died at age 39 in a plane crash. Then, of course, there was another Kennedy that died of a drug overdose in the 80s. And then there was Michael Kennedy Smith, who died in a skiing accident in 1997, I believe it was. So, I mean, you've had a lot of different tragedies befell the Kennedy family. I think there was a granddaughter or something like that that died of a drug overdose in the 80s. So, or grandniece or something of RFK or JFK, one of the two. There's so many I forget. So yeah, when you look at the attempt in September, this situation, when it comes to the Kennedy name, man, it's always something. This is something that some people have feared about this guy. There's something about this family. And I know some people can say, well, when you look at some of the dastardly things that Joe Kennedy did and some of the dirty things that the Kennedys did, that it's karma. But I'll say this: no woman deserves to outlive her kids. Rose Kennedy lived to be 104 years old, if I'm not mistaken, almost 105. And unfortunately, she had to bury her oldest child, Joe, the daughter, the president, and Robert. She had to bury like 4 or 5 of her kids. That's and had to live with that pain for 100 years. So it's just fucked up, man. But thankfully Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Is okay. Hopefully he stays that way. But it's just it's messed up, man. That how history can be altered by these losers, these maniac sociopaths who want to make a very uh, twisted name for themselves. But anyway, tell me what you guys think.